Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. So today we are doing session 45 of our solo RPGs stream. Sorry, my dog is running around this morning. He's got some pep in his step this morning. But we're going to keep moving on. See if he comes in and annoys me. He just was in here a second ago. But let's go ahead and move on. I guess the first thing we need to do is jump in and do, let's do a recap of sort of what we were going over, what kind of happened last time. Well, first, let's jump back and go session 34, because that was the beginning of basically this quest that we're on, which was to go get Drin's half-brother and to check out what was going on with the Goblin map that we found out. So that was, I guess, 11 sessions ago at this point. But we're gonna go ahead and so we took off. We went and found the dungeon. We found Drin's half-brother. We got back, and we're ready to turn that in. Now, what happened sort of last time? So we rolled over the dead bodies that we got. We made the long, arduous trek back to Split Valley Oasis in the last session, and it took surprisingly less time than we thought it was, or at least I thought it was going to. We rolled really well on our sort of like constitution checks for that, and we once we got out of the mountains, we pretty much booked it almost all the way back. We did have to stop just outside of Split Valley Oasis at Norcru's old abandoned camp. There were some people there. We did a little bit of business. Before we got there, we had the weird encounter where Leah got bit by a snake, which turned out to be some sort of shadow demon. We dealt with that. We still don't know what's going on with that. And then that group of that camp that wanted to come and talk to us. There's my dog. As I said, he's having a morning. Hey, bud. Sorry, he's gonna be like that. I may have to close the door on him. I didn't want to because my partner's not here, but I guess I'll just go ahead and do that. We'll see how that works. We'll see how well that he handles that. He doesn't like being cooped up like that, so we'll see. Or he's just gonna bark at me. It's gonna be, I guess that's just it's gonna be that kind of morning. That's alright. We're gonna keep on moving on. So we had the weird encounter with the snake. We had the rest. We got back to town. As we got into town, we were on our way to sort of Reeve Relindhart. We came across that scene with the Cult of Narimanah acolytes. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna take care of it. Sorry about that. I put him in here with me. Hopefully that will help. We'll see. He doesn't like to be separated from other people when they're in the home. So yeah, we got back there. We got into the street fight with the Cult of Narimanah because the Cult of Narimanah was we found trying to steal our plate mail that we had from the Water Myrmidon, the corrupted one, and realized they were probably... Reeve Relindhart was just sending it off to have the curse removed from it. So we got into a sort of a street fight with them. They were mostly trying to get the armor, so they weren't really fighting back a whole ton. But Imbar did accidentally crit a guy with an unarmed strike and definitely just straight up killed them in the fight. But now the guards have come and broken that up, and that's where we're sort of picking it up. So we're trying to figure out, kicking it right off, whether somebody's going to pin, finger Imbar for get this person dying, or we're just going to chalk it up to, it happens. So that's sort of where we're kicking off. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna shoot things over so you guys can see what we're looking at. So that is the last session notes. Let's get back here to our current session notes. There we go. Alright, here we go. To space. And let me go window capture. Here we go. Now we can see it. Now we can see it together. Alright, so that's our first goal, and that's what we're picking up. Can anybody ID Imbar as the Acolyte's killer? Alright, so it's the same. Guards have come in, they've broken up. They've kind of pushed the two sides away from each other. I think that the Cult of Narimanah is pretty much backed off at this point, and there's a number of them just kind of unconscious on the ground. And their leader's been beefed up pretty badly, so I don't think that they're going to try to continue to steal anything while they're here. But let's make our first roll. They come to break it up, but is the Cult of Narimanah... Let's do this first. Is the Cult of Narimanah sticking around? I think that's... I think it's about a 50-50. Well... No, I think they will. So that's +3. Are they going to stick around? Oh yeah, very much so. They believe they're in the right with this sort of cursed item, and I think that they're trying to whip up the crowd a little bit with the guards about, like, we're trying to remove these cursed items from your town, from the trading post, and trying to whip up the crowd sentiment behind them. And these people are stopping us. The guards want these cursed items here. They want to curse us all with bad magics and foul practices and devilry and chaos. So they're going to try to whip up the crowds a little bit. I think the guards are trying to stop them, but I think the guards are trying to stop us too. So how are they doing? Are they... so that's what they're attempting to do. Do they whip up the crowd sentiment? I think that we're probably trying to calm them as well. Kind of, I think Leah kind of steps in before that. These people are trying to steal our property, which is that this is an issue of this is a civil issue, not a sort of religious issue. This is about you trying to steal my property, not about your gods and curses and fell magics and whatever. That's not what this is about. So she's going to make it... I'm going to give her advantage because she has... Well, no, it's going to be a flat roll because you've got people supporting them on each side. Alright, so we've got a +2 to charisma. That's it. We don't have any sort of charisma skills. We're just kind of naturally magnetic. Leah is. So we're just going to have to do our best and see as they sort of like try to whip up sentiment for themselves. And we're going to try to combat that. Alright, that's pretty good. That's a 16. Yeah, okay. Perfect. So the DC was 7. We more than doubled that. So I think they tried to do that, and then they kind of talk it. Remember that this is very much a merchant's town, right? We're at a big trading post. And so when this becomes an issue of like, no, actually they're just stealing from craftsmen in the town, kind of point that out and point out the two blacksmiths, they're smiths or whoever they are, they're pulling this cart that they costed and tried to steal from. And so you feel like the crowd sentiment start to move towards the cultists as they start talking about cursed things, and then sort of like immediately tide momentum flips the other way. It was like, yeah, but you guys were just stealing things from hardworking townspeople. And so that goes the other way. And is the Cult of Narimanah going to run at this point? I think there's not that many of them. I think they're going to leave. Or I guess really the question is, are the guards trying to keep them there? So guards have tried to question people, but the cult's involved, and that makes things more difficult. let's see. Let's maybe get let's get like a 2d6. Let's just get a cool read, like a sentiment read off our guards. Well, I guess that would be an insight check. So let's do an insight check again with advantage. We have lots of people here, and we'll use probably Jurgen, who's probably the best, even though we rolled quite poorly. Yeah, so her insight, that still only makes it a 12. So I don't think we're gonna get a ton of insight there. Actually, that's directly 12. So so we do get the insight. So how are the guards kind of feeling? 9. All right, so they're already slanted somewhat in our favor. They're friendly towards us. They know. They probably have an idea of who we are. We've been here in Split Valley Oasis. Akari Aiden's probably said a lot of nice things about us. Obviously, Reeve Relindhart loves us because of our last interaction with him. We rolled our lowest roll below 20 was a 19 of many rolls, including 2 natural 20s. So he is very much a fan. He's got his pom-pom supporting us. So they like us, as far as we can tell. You know, they like us quite a bit. So the guards are already sort of predisposed. There we go, that's the word. Predisposed to us in our position. And so the crowd's kind of moving our way too. But now I want to know, are they just going to let the Cult of Narimanah go? And this might be kind of cultish activity. We don't know. So they're just going to let him go? No, they're gonna bring him in prosecution. We don't know. Maybe this is something they've been looking to do for a while. The Cult of Narimanah has been kind of back and forth here in Split Valley Oasis, so maybe it's something they're looking to sort of bring under thumb. What about us? Are they going to let us go? I think that's unlikely. I think specifically now that there's certainly one dead body. Are they going to let us go? 15 minus 3 is still 12. So they're like, oh yeah, no, you're good. You guys are good. Look, I think one of whoever's sort of the sergeant or whoever's sort of in charge of this group of guards kind of pulls us aside. Like, look, we're sorry for this. Cult of Narimanah has been sort of kicking up a lot of dust lately here in the town. So we understand that you've had some clashes with them in the past. Reeve Relindhart speaks very highly of you. We're just gonna let this go, and we're gonna try to hold the Cult of Narimanah to account. Don't know if you want to accompany the cart to make sure that your stuff gets where it needs to go, and then I'll try to get word to Reeve Relindhart that he's expecting you, because you're here to see him, right? He looks at like somebody who looks clearly kind of like Dren in the back, to report about the goblins and whatnot. He kind of looks over, like, Jurgen's a new face. I'm kind of like, okay. Dren's half-brother is kind of a new face, but kind of looks like Dren, so, okay. Lee's like, well, thank you. Yes, obviously we'll talk about this and do whatever's needed for Reeve Relindhart to, let's say, encourage the Acolytes of Narimanah to maybe find another place to do their worships. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. Certainly make our life easier. But yeah, go ahead, take off. And he turns around and starts sort of like barking orders at some of the people, trying to get the cultists sort of shackled or manacled and getting ready to take them off. All right, so that's our first scene. Nice. All right, so our first scene is that, and we'll just roll it just to see. Does anything get in our way? Is it an oracle question or a random encounter check? I think it's gonna be an oracle question. Does anybody else get in our way while we're taking care of the armor? I think that's extremely unlikely, since a lot of people just watched us kill somebody. That's an 11, so it's yes, but something. Yes, but there's sort of an interrupt, so obviously we don't make it there because somebody's going to interrupt us. But, first off, session notes. So guards must pass. try to take in the remaining cultists. We'll just say into custody. They try to take the... Well, they don't try to, they take the remaining cultists into custody. And we go off to escort our cursed plate mail to its destination. Alright, perfect. So, yeah, we're going to head off, but something jumps up and gets in our way, as is the case with the solo RPG. That tends to happen a lot. Let's go to our Oracle. Again, if you haven't seen the new tabs, we're working with the new tabs. It makes things a lot easier. So, we got yes, but we do have some sort of interrupted scene. So we are going to make it there. Or sorry, we are going to get interrupted, but we're getting interrupted by the interrupt scene. Alright, so let's figure it out. Let's do our interrupt scene. Alright, so we need a d20 for our subject. So who's going... What's this about? Who's going on here? 18. Our first subject, 18. Some sort of extraordinary trap or trick is going to be acting upon whom or what? 12. So some sort of trap at an ordinary location. I assume we're taking this to, like, a smithy? Actually, no. We're probably taking it to somebody who can uncurse it. I don't know. But it's gonna be an ordinary location, so it's not something particularly magical. So maybe they're just taking it to the smithy for right now. And so maybe this is something that happens at the smithy? And what's actually going to go on here? So number 13. We're going to lose some faith, morale, or trust. Maybe this is we're going to lose some sort of trust in Split Valley Oasis itself. Because we do have an extraordinary trap, so somebody's going to try to jump out, or something's going to try to grab one of us. I'm trying to think of what would that be. Let's take a look in my handy dandy DM binder for some sort of track or trip. Trick or trap. Man, words this morning, not working for me. That's the thing's not working for me this morning. That's alright. So let's see, let's get a improvise trap or hazard. So let's roll a d12. 6. Ooh, some sort of harm or trap. So it deals condition, exhaustion, stat damage. And I guess, right, it could be any of those, so let's just roll a d6. Alright, so it's the first one, so it does a condition. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so there are basically 13 conditions in 5e, so I'm not sure about the new stuff, but... Yep. Ooh, that's a bad one. Condition number 1 is... Condition number 1 is blinded. That's not good. Okay, so, I mean, that just sounds like a spell. Like the blindness, deafness spell. Is that the case? Let's ask the Oracle. Is that the case? Because it could be like a flashbang and it's a temporary blindness thing, but let's say, is it a blindness, deafness kind of spell? Yes. Okay, so somebody... We're walking with them, we're trying to take this thing to the... Smith, and somebody's going to jump out, or somebody's going to hit us with a blindness, deafness spell. We'll assume against, I think blindness, deafness, you can only targets one person, right? Let's look. Now this is the 2024 rule, but they updated all the things on the site, so that's what we're playing with for this instance. Yeah, one creature within range. Well, I mean, why would you not go after the caster? Well, let's... I'm making that assumption. Is it against Leah? Okay, not against Leah. Against Delg? Probably not. Against Imbar? Maybe. Okay, yeah. So somebody's gonna step out and actually try to hit Imbar with it. We're walking down the path, having some conversation, kind of talking to the smiths about what's going on. Like, okay, so we're taking it to your place. We're just gonna be safe there and do that. And well, we still gotta find somebody to uncurse it. And then as we do that, oh, that's good. It's a good question I didn't think about. Is the person who's supposed to uncurse it the person who's about to hit us with this blindness? I kind of think that's extremely likely, because we're gonna have to have a more powerful magic person to do that, to uncurse those items. Oh, but the answer's no. Okay, so it's not that. So Imbar does have some people who are kind of after her. We have let's look at Imbar real quick. So the person who kind of jumps to mind is actually, she has somebody from the Cult of Narimanah after her, now I think about it. I think, right? Maybe I made that up. Cult of Narimanah. Yeah, Imbar's got somebody. I know Imbar's got somebody in here. It'd probably be just easier if I give it the old bar. Yeah. Wants revenge on the peddler. Oh, that's right. We have the peddler. We haven't talked about the peddler in a hot minute. So that's a good. So somebody jumps out. Let's ask a question. Did we make it all the way to the smithy? Is somebody waiting for us at the smithy? No. Okay, so somebody's gonna jump on us while we're heading down probably one of the small streets, back alleys, kind of on the way. Because now we're trying to be not as conspicuous with the armor, because we've already gotten it. It's already gotten attacked once, so we're kind of taking some not direct, big, wide avenues. So we're doing that. We're going down there. We're trying to talk with the smiths and be like, okay, so then you've got somebody who's going to break the curse on you? Yeah, we've got somebody who's going to break the curse on you. As we sort of pass into probably what seems like the most ambush-worthy alley, somebody steps out at the far end and makes motions with their hands and does a attack on Imbar, and Imbar needs to make, I believe it's Constitution saving throw. Constitution saving throw. Alright, well, we don't know what the DC is, so I'm just going to have to give a random DC real quick. Oh, good, it's very low. So that's a DC of 9. So, DC of 9, Constitution saving throw for Imbar. Shouldn't be a problem. But it's always going to be a problem if you roll a natural 1. You can't get away from that. That's always going to be a problem. So Imbar comes out, boom, immediately hit with blindness. Alright, that sounds like we're rolling initiative. We're going to have at least one mage. I'm going to assume some people jump out and flank them along and probably come in behind us in the alley. It's probably a full-on ambush. But it seems focused on Imbar, so it must mean that it has something to do with the peddler. Which would make sense. The peddler is very interested in magical accoutrement, so could also be against the curse. Could also be for the cursed armor. We don't know what they're looking for, what they're trying to do. But we are going to roll initiative, so let's get ready. Alright, so we've got our initiative and notes. We rolled, I'm just going to go with a DC 09. That's going to be basically our scene DC. So that's going really well for us. Alright, so we have let's get our people. So we have we don't know who's going first. We need some bad guys. We need some sort of caster. going to be probably a humanoid, I'm going to guess. And we are, there's technically 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of us, and we are level 4. Get that done. Boop, boop. And we always want a hard encounter. Let's make it like a boss with minions. That seems right. Yeah, I'm looking for somebody who might be a Cult Fanatic. I don't think Cult Fanatic has spells, though. The priest, maybe. This could be a Cult of Narimanah. Or no, we think it's the peddler, right? Let's see. There's got to be a good. All right, so we definitely want to pull those CRs down a little bit. That'll be helpful. Let's do it this way. All right, so that's CR6 would be a conjurer. Be going by themselves, so I don't want to do just one. I mean, I guess we could ask, is it just one person? I don't think that's likely. I don't think it's just one person. Extremely unlikely. Okay, no, it is just one person. So yeah, I guess let's do the conjurer. All right, there's just a mage. Let's just do mage. So this mage is a higher level mage. Is going to step out and try to hit Imbar with blindness, and we'll just pull up the mage. I usually don't like to use spellcasting enemies like this because they're kind of meh. This is the 2025 one, Master Manual, so we'll see. Oh yeah. So we'll assume that they also have blindness and deafness. Even though it's not here in their stat block, we're going to assume that they have that. And so what is their initiative? +2. So they're going on a 12. And how many hit points do they have? 81. Ooh, that's pretty beefy for a mage. Alright, so let's go with Leah. We got Ott. We got Inbar. We got Jurgen. Delg. It's everybody. Alright, the whole team's here. Leah goes before. Ott goes before that. Just swap them down here. Leah. How's Imbar doing? Imbar's doing even better. And you're good with those, so. Alright, so we're gonna go with Imbar, Ott, Leah, Jurgen's gonna go with the slow round. And let's see about Delg. Old wildcard Delg. Okay, it's going right on the money. Alright, so that's what we look like. So this mage hops out, boom, hits Imbar. Imbar is blinded. Goes, ah, shit, can't see anything. Starts sort of like feeling for the wall and trying to like get herself in a defensive position because she can't see anything. It is her turn though. It's the very top of the round. She got hit first and she's going to react. What does blindness do? Do you get to save again? At the end of each of its turns, it can repeat the save. Yeah, well, she can't really do anything, so she's going to pull out her weapon, and she's got her shield, and she kind of knows where people are, so she's still going to kind of like take the front of the alley to kind of cover everybody. But she is blinded, so she's just going to take, I'm going to say, she's got blinded, and she's going to take the dodge action to sort of measure out that disadvantage, counterbalance that. That is Ott's turn. Ott can presumably see this mage who just jumped at the end of the alley, and I guess nobody came in to support them from the other end, so they thought they were enough and did a little cast of blindness, and then Ott, okay, pulls out her bow and pulls out an arrow. Unless somebody tells her to stop. Does somebody not tell her to just attack this person? This could be like a, I don't know, like a wisdom saving throw for Leah. Let's do that. Okay, not too bad. I believe that's a 17 with her -1 and +2. Okay, yeah, so she makes that. She's like, oh, it would be a really bad idea. I think she just tells him, don't kill them. Take them alive. That's not going to stop Ott from attacking, though. She's going to make 2 attacks. One's going to miss, almost for certain. Let's go. Yeah, he has AC 50. Just not hitting him with that first one, but the second one for sure does hit. Ooh. Her maximum, I believe it's 10 points of damage. It's 11 points of damage. Ow. So he gets shot pretty handily for 11 points of damage. Takes an arrow. Ah! The mage keeps trying to sorcelate with their hands. Turns around. That's odd. Leah. Okay. What are we gonna do? She watched that person get shot with an arrow and still seems pretty hale. So she realizes this is like a hardened combat mage. This is not like a random, corner hedge mage. Like this is a serious combat caster. She has a full wand of magic missiles. I think she'll use 4 of them right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's actually going to give her 6 darts of magic missile. So she just whips out the wand, points at them, and magic missiles. For 6d4 plus 6, I know it's really supposed to be 1d4 plus 1 times 6, but I like more dice. I think that's going to be more fun. Alright, so they are going to take 23 points of damage. So they get BAM! Hit with this magic missile. Just pop, 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 pop. So that's going to take them down to 47. Big hit on the mage. Oh, I forgot the Imbar needs to do her save. Her con save. That's going to be pretty good. Oh, she doesn't have a... She's not trained in it, so it's a 14. What's the spell DC for this range, for this guy? DC 14. Hey, what do you know? We just got there. Alright, she is not blinded anymore. So she's able, as she's dodging, and like, hold on, she's covered with threads. Realizes her vision comes sort of focusing back in. That was Lee, it's Delg in the back. Delg will try to do a little sling. Delg's gonna hit with the sling. And he's gonna take, the mage is gonna take 3 points of damage from old wild card Delg. So this mage jumps out, this combat caster jumps out at the end of the alley once he sees them coming down. Tries to blind their big defensive fighter who would be a problem for a mage. And they kind of take cover, and from behind that person, Imbar with their shield up, there's the arrow that hits them, then a bunch of magic missiles, then Delg's slingstone just punk right off the dome. And this mage is clearly finding themselves that they are not as weak a party as maybe they have been led to believe. So now they're in a weird place. They're not quite at half hit points, but they are vastly outnumbered. So they are going to have to make a morale check, because they may just make a run for it. 8's pretty good, though. Remember, we're trying to roll their charisma or under, which is 11. So is combat caster knows that they got hit. Is going to try to do... I mean, man, it's right here. What am I supposed to do? Not do it? They're in a tiny alleyway. They're obviously trying to kill them. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason... to not do that. Yeah, we're gonna fireball. So it's DC 14. We got to make dexterity saving throws. All right, here it goes, guys. This could be real bad for us. Imbar has advantage because she took the dodge action. So we'll roll for her first. All right, so Imbar's gonna pass. After Imbar is Ott, right? Ott fails. Leah. Leah fails. I don't think there's any way. We didn't say anybody moved. Did they hit Delg and Jurgen? Is Delg in the fire? Yeah, is Jurgen. Okay, so Jurgen's not in the flame. Was probably behind the cart or something. Oh, that's a good point. Are our people, our smithy people, in it? No, they're back as well. So 3 of them are sort of back with that, and Jurgen was, I guess, trying to help by pushing the cart from behind, or was talking to the one in the back, and the one up front, as soon as they saw the mage step out and start casting spells, probably went and hid under the cart. That's probably where they all are, except for maybe Jurgen. But okay, we gotta do some damage. We get hit with a fireball. Oh, 26 points. That could have been way worse. That's actually not. That's primarily in our favor roll. Just about. 2 6s, but offset by 2 1s, kind of averaging out. So pretty, just slightly below average on damage. Pretty good though. All right. So Imbar took half, so she's gonna take 13. She gets fireballed. Ott's gonna take the full, and she's the only person who passed. Everybody else is gonna take the full. She says, Leah's got 1 hit point. She gets hammered with that fireball. Delg is outside of it. It's 26. Yeah, 26 points damage. So he doesn't look very good. Right? Is that right? 26. No, he has sorry. He has 5 hit points. Imbar got hers. Ott also doesn't look good. Yeah, we can't take another one of those fireballs. So yeah, that's the mage's turn. They cast fireball. This tiny alleyway, it fucking explodes with fire. And let's see. We'll just ask: Is the mage also in this blast? I think that's extremely unlikely. But you know how wizards are. Like, I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast fireball. Okay, no, they're smart enough to not be in the blast of their own fireball. But that's their turn. Are they gonna run? I don't know. They're not, because we already did the charisma saving throw. They just had a big momentum shift in their favor. So they just fricasseed this tiny alleyway with everybody in it. Yikes. Okay. So that's the mage. It's Jurgen in the back. Jurgen, what are you gonna do? Jurgen's the one that's got full hit points too. Here's a question. Can Jurgen get to the mage and still act? Yes. So yeah, that's what Jurgen does. Jurgen sort of like flips around from button, like it's flashed by the fireball, then like slips around from the back of the cart and just kind of charges straight at them. And is probably going to do a spell about it, I guess, as they're running. Pulling out their weapon. What's... Yeah, let's say that. I guess they'll do their Starry Wisp. Starry Wisp is an attack, I believe. Launch mode light. Yeah, range attack. All right, so she'll make that range attack, and then she's going to close with her weapon to be fully on top of them. Yeah, that's gonna hit. It's a D8. 1d6 plus your ability modifier? Nope, just 1d8 radiant damage. Okay, so 6 points of radiant damage, and then they're lit up like a Christmas tree. So now they're at 38, and they're lighted. All right, that's Jurgen, and she closes. She's in melee, so she closes up with her. She has a spear. Closes up with that. Imbar feels fine. Imbar will close if Jurgen was the furthest one away, so if she can close and act, then everybody should be able to close and act. Imbar loses dodge. It's now their turn again. She is going to run up, circle around to get flanking, and try to cream this guy. It's mage real quick. 17 on the die. That's definitely going to hit. I just wish it was a little bit higher for a crit. So she gets the D8 plus the 2D6s. Ugh, terrible damage. 7, 8, 9, I believe. Let's double check. Yeah. So she only does 9 points of damage. Dang. Rolling 3 dice to do 9 points of damage. That's not good. Alright, well. It's down to 29. Imbar is... does she have a good bonus action? I don't think she has any decent bonus actions. She could heal herself. Actually, she could heal herself. She's going to do that. She's going to use her bonus action to second wind, and she'll get a D10 plus 4. Back. 11. Love it. So she's going to get 11 points back. So now she's back almost at full, ready to go. Yep, and she's just going to be up there for right now. That's everything she can do. So that's Imbar. It's down to Ott. Ott's in the back. Ott does not look great. Probably understands that they can't take another one of those hits. It's probably going to... I think she's going to take a couple shots, and then I think she's going to actually try to take cover behind or under the cart at this point. She can't get hit again. She'll make 2 attacks. The mage... neither one of those are going to hit. As she's a bit frazzled, and she goes and she takes cover. So she goes and takes cover behind the cart, trying to maybe not get absolutely killed by another fireball. Leah. Ugh, Leah. The mage looks not good, but I don't think she has any... She doesn't have a big showstopper. She could cast a magic missile. Reese, Ice Knife. Ice Knife would hurt her friends. Magic Missiles would be fine. Yeah, she doesn't not have great spells for this. Can't really use Mold Earth. Frostbite's fine. Firebolt's fine. Those are all fine. Ooh, can I hit her with that web? I may be able to hit her with that web wand. Let's look up web real quick. This is going to be the new web, which I'm not familiar with. Alright, conjure a mess of sticky webbing at a point within range. It's difficult terrain. Area with them is lightly obscured. Okay. The web collapses on itself, and the spell ends at the start of your next turn. It must succeed a dexterity saving throw or have the restrained conditions. And restrained... can take an action if they make a strength athletics check. So if we can make sure that they get hit, we shouldn't have a problem. Yeah, I think she just tries to web them. we'll just use her DC because I don't know what the DC is for the wand. So we'll just use her DC. It'll be fine. All right. So Leah's she's gonna cast a web directly on them. Actually, she'll move to a way where she can like Spider-Man them against the wall. So she's gonna move to do that. Oh, it's right there. DC 15. Got it. Alright, so it's DC 15. It's a dexterity saving throw the first time. Then it's strength afterwards. Okay. Dexterity saving throw for a bad guy. Ooh, that's definitely not going to make it. There's no way that this guy has a +8. I mean, I'll look, but there's no way that guy has... A mage has a +8. Yeah, they sure don't. Yeah. Alright, so we slap up that mage and they get pasted up against the wall with Wand of Web. Alright, we'll just put that down there. They're lighted and they are in the web. So, not having a great day. Leah's feeling very good about that. Leah's also moved, so she is, let's say, out of the alleyway. I think she comes forward and moves out into the street. Now that we've seen some magic thrown around, is anybody, we should have done this at the end of the last round, but we'll do it here. Did anybody come running? Nope, not yet. Alright. Delg. Well, this person is restrained, and I think when you have the restrained condition, do you auto-fail dex saves? Attacks and dex saves at disadvantage. Okay, so they have disadvantage. Though, obviously, this restraint condition is a little bit different than the new one. So, we're just going to do our best. Because I know one, and I have to look up the other. So, Delg has advantage against them. So, Delg will sling, I guess. Or heal somebody. He's got Ott right there. He's going to try to heal Ott. So Delg's gonna pull out his healer's kit and he'll give him the 1d6 plus 1d6 plus 4 plus their hit points, which is different. So Ott, we'll give her the little X here. Let us know that we use the healer's kit on her. So it's 1d8 plus 4 plus 6. So 1d8 plus 10 is how many hit points they're gonna get back. Because it's based off of whatever creature you're healing's hit dice, which means that it's actually more powerful against sidekick. It's more useful against sidekick characters who tend to have more hit dice than player characters. It's a weird system. Minimum. We did the absolute minimum. But she'll get 11 hit points back. She could maybe survive a fireball. At least not get auto-killed by it. So that would be nice. And we also spread out a bit, so not everybody's going to be easily hit. He's going to stay in cover. So he's also in cover behind the cart. Okay, it's our mage's turn. Our mage has people on top of us and is restrained. They have to make a strength check, right? Which they're not good at. To even be able to do anything. Webs are difficult, lightly obscured. First time in character. They have the restraint condition. They can take an action to make a strength athletics check against your spell DC. If it succeeds, they're no longer restrained. So it can make an attack versus disadvantage. Does it have anything around them that can just kind of boom? Not really. They can cast another fireball. That would be a really bad idea because they would immediately take all that fire damage because they're covered in a web, which will immediately be set on fire when they use fire magic. No, I'm gonna use suggestion. It's an action. Suggestion is Very underpowered. Very overpowered for what it does. It's going to look at Imbar and is going to try to cast Suggestion. Help me flee! Help me flee! Wisdom saving throw. For Imbar. I'm pretty sure that's not going to make it. It really is not. Okay. Imbar goes, okay. Alright. Well, Imbar is, charmed. Great, excellent. Cut me out of this. That was her spell. Our mage doesn't have any bonus actions. So our mage is in the web, but on Imbar's turn, they're going to start trying to cut them out. Jurgen's like, wait, what are you doing? Stop! As Imbar kind of like starts moving to help them. So she's not going to count as an ally for flanking. What does Jurgen want to do? Well, they have advantage on attack, so they'll just try to stab them, I guess, with the spear. So I got a +3. They need to roll a 12. 12 or better to hit this mage. I'd say it really don't go. It doesn't get any better than 20. So what are you doing? Stop helping them, and then just rockets forth and just fucking shoves this spear like into their midsection as they're all webbed up. 12 plus anything? I don't know if they have anything to it. +1. Okay, so they do 13 points. She does 13 points of damage to this mage as she skewers them shish kebab style. 13 points. Ouchie. Down to 16. Starting to freak out. Trying to get out of here. And their lighting condition goes away. That's Jurgen. So Jurgen makes a stab. Going well. Trying to break Imbar out of it. Like, hey, what are you doing? Now, if I remember correctly, there is... unless they've changed it. Nope, they just have the charm condition until the end of it. Let's do charm. Huh. Let's see, other rewards. I don't want rewards. It's the condition charm. That's what I'm looking for. While you have the charm condition, you experience the following effects. You can't harm the charmer. Okay. You can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with damaging abilities. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so basically they just will do no evil to it, but you still have to kind of like convince them to do stuff. But Suggestion already did that. Alright. That's Jurgen. It's back at the top. Imbar's going to try to, I guess, cut them out of it. Or I guess try to make a strength athletics check to pull them free. Right? That's what it does. Web. Nope. Not charmed web, just regular web. They have a restraining condition. It takes strength athletics. Okay, yeah. So they will try to make their strength athletics check to break 3. Then that's not going to work. That is, she certainly doesn't have a +9 to it. So she like puts her weapon and shield behind her and starts trying to like get her hands and trying to pull at these sort of sticky webs, trying to pull them free and trying to pull them off the mage, but not doing a very good job. So that's a big old failure and wasted turn for Imbar. Ott is still in cover behind the cart. She kind of growls a thank you to Delg as he patches her up a little bit. What are we gonna do? I'm going to, she could probably run in and try to end it real quick. I guess so. I am not killing Gobbos. I am not killing Gobbos. I'm just killing a mage. It's different. No Gobbo killing. At least not right now. Alright, yeah, she's gonna run out and cover with her... I guess she'll do at least one attack with the spear. I don't know. Let's give her a wisdom. Okay, yeah. So she has a pretty good idea of how many hit points they have left. So restrained, so they get an advantage on the attack. So there's definitely one hit. No, it's funny. The title. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So that is 6 points damage to the mage with the first attack. So, not looking very good. Definitely doesn't want to outright kill them, though. I guess she'll try to bite. That's certainly going to hit on the restrained. So that's 1d4 plus 2. Which does another 4 points of damage. Alright, so that mage is down to 6 hit points. That was Ott. Ott is in melee. Meanwhile, Imbar's like, stop! What are you doing? I'm trying to get them free. Stop attacking them. Leah is out of the alleyway. She can see them pretty easily. Does she have any spells that can just do a concussive, just KO? I don't know. I don't think she has anything that will do that. Not really. Yeah, not particularly. So yeah, I think she'll just come up and try to... Everybody's just going to kind of gang around this mage and probably just kind of beat the crap out of him. She's going to take the Fernian Ash Staff and just try to hit them with it. Just crack it over their head. Just trying to do like non-lethal damage, but definitely trying to knock this person out. Misses somehow. Imbar kind of gets in her way and like kind of like elbows her out of the way. Like, stop trying to kill this person. I'm trying to get them free. Trying to get my new best friend free. So he's like, ugh. Get out of the way. So that was a big miss from her. Looks like everybody's in here. Delg has cover behind the cart. Yeah, sure. Delg's not going to move out of cover, but Delg will. Sure, he'll try to sling. And technically he has advantage because they're restrained. And he's not going to hit. Which made it somehow all the way back to the mage again. So they're restrained, so they can't take any other actions. Well, they can make an attack at disadvantage, right? But I don't think they have anything they can cast. And the problem is that if they cast on somebody that's the charmed creature's friend, I believe they get another save. Oh no, they're going to do Arcane Burst. Makes 3 of them? Oh no, and they've got a bunch of people around them. They do have disadvantage on it, but they are going to try to... I mean, they're stuck otherwise, but they are going to try to Arcane Burst. We've got a bunch of people on top of them. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Probably not going to check the one that's charmed, but there are 3 here that aren't charmed. So that's who they're going to attack. Well, there's 4. I'll just roll a d4. Who doesn't get attacked? Because you might also want to take Imbar out. Who's not going to get targeted? 1. That's Imbar, right? Yeah. Okay, so going to try to reach out through the webs and try to grab at Leah's vestments at her cloak and try to do their sort of melee touch attack Arcane Burst. They have disadvantage. They are going to miss. This is sort of a last gap for them. So they miss. That was odd. So now against Leah. That's a miss. and against misses all around. Tries to make three of those arcane burst attacks, but can't seem to get their hand fully out, and they just kind of, the webbing between their fingers, I can't quite do the somatic components of it, and doesn't quite work out. But was clearly still hostile. Man, they got nothing else to do. That was their one thing. It was either that or take their action to try to get out, and they did not do that. Jurgen's in melee. Jurgen's going to try to crack them across the head with their staff and be done with this. With a second crit in a row. Well, absolutely. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that does all their hit points and damage. Yeah. And then Jurgen flips her spear around after she sort of like shish kebabbed him really good. Turns around and just cracks him like with the butt end, like pull cue style, like right in the face. And they just kind of hang in the web still. I think Leah's really pretty hurt. Kind of like leans back against the wall, the alleyway wall on the other side. Well, does anybody know who this person is? Looks over at the two people, and does anybody recognize this thing? I don't think anybody on our team recognizes them. So I was gonna roll that with disadvantage, but that's still a good roll. So somebody must recognize them. Well, oh yeah, somebody definitely recognizes them. Is it Imbar? I think that's extremely likely. Yeah, Imbar's like, wait, I know this person. This mage works for the peddler. What the hell are they doing here? Doesn't that make sense? They jumped out and attacked me first. Our guard's showing up. Nope, they're still busy. They're still quite busy with our last fight that we've had in the Split Valley Oasis streets. So nobody's come. So I think we're still kind of in the alleyway, like at the edge of an alleyway. So I think probably we just take time to just kind of cut them out of the webbing, throw them into the alleyway, and I guess roll that body. So start rolling the body. They're gonna have some items on them. Let's make some notes first. Alright, so we were going to turn into, we got a bushed in alley by a mage working for peddler. Focused on Imbar. And now we're gonna pull some treasure out of them. So let's do our standard. We're just gonna give them a very, very clear, like, everybody will get a roll on the mage because the mage is likely to have stuff on them. Use this. I don't think one of the things I probably should do is put the treasure tables in this digital document so you guys can see them. But for right now, we're just gonna have to go off of this. So let's go with our. Let's figure out our treasure. So we got a few rolls we got to do. Like I said, we're just going to do one for everybody here. For all the people who are in our party. So, Leah, Delg, Imbar, Ott, Jurgen. We're going to do 5 rolls real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Wow, only 1 pocket contents. Alright, so we got a pocket contents. We rolled really high. 15. Alright, so that's money, money, and money. So three times of currency. We get 3 currency, and then we got a magic item with that natural 20. So let's do the pocket contents really first. First, it's super easy. Let's do the D66 table 45. Some sort of narcotic. Two. Okay. So about a gold's worth of some sort of narcotic, probably like tobacco or something like that. So we'll just put that in here. We got a... The 1 gold's worth of tobacco. We've got some currency we need to figure out. That'll be the easiest thing. And I think it's just the 2. 5 and 13. So a D20 of silver pieces. 16. Here, so we should put 15 and 5. So a D50 of copper pieces. So 18 copper pieces. And one more. Big money, no whammies. I think that's exactly the same thing. It sure is. Another D50 of copper pieces. Ooh, a whopping 12 copper pieces. Yeah, not a rich mage by any stretch of the imagination. They've got a fair bit of tobacco in their pocket, but also just barely some walking around money. Just enough money to like buy some lunch and maybe a trinket or something. And then they've got some sort of magic item on them. Alright, so we are party level 1 through 4. So it's most likely to be a common item, but let's roll for it. Big money, no whammies. It's an uncommon item. And let me roll. I'm gonna use a little pyramid roll here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a single-use uncommon item. Which there are not that many of. So let's go to this one. Let's go to some items. Go to our filter. And we're going to... I guess we're going to have everything in there. Doesn't really matter. So here's what we want. We want some sort of magic item. And want it to be uncommon. It's a single-use item, so, I mean, most of that's going to be consumable stuff. Let's see. Arcane Grimoire. Let's see. We got some alchemy jugs. We're looking for something that's probably going to be a potion or scroll. Most of these are permanent stuff. Let's see. What's the earworm do? Oh, interesting. No, not that. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with... Here are our potions down here. What seems likely? Probably a potion of greater healing? What's polychromy? Oh, a rainbow hued appearance. Not sure why that's an uncommon one. Yeah, I think we'll go Potion of Greater Healing. It could be a spell scroll, though. Level 2 or level 3 spell scroll. Alright, let's ask ourselves, is it a level 3 spell scroll? Yes. Okay. I'll take that. I'm not going to write down what it is yet. I don't want to waste time figuring that out, but we're about to be 5th level. We're going to get 3rd level spells. It'll be nice to have one that will give me some sort of option, which I'll be able to transcribe into Leah's spellbook. So we know that's it's going to be a wizard spell. This is a mage. I don't know what it's going to be, but that's what it is. Alright, so we got ambush. We kind of took care of this person. They are not dead. They're just unconscious right now. What do we want to do with this person? I think Imbar is going through their pockets and kind of like sits back on her heels with like her arms like on her knees, looking at it like, ugh. No orders, no messages, no missives, no notes, no nothing. To know why they're here, why they attacked us. I think Leah kind of steps up and is like, well, we could always, we could wait around, wait for them to wake up and ask them. I'm not sure that's a good idea, Leah. Maybe not. Maybe it's best to keep this far away from us. Well, kind of looks at Imbar. It's up to you. Do we make sure this person doesn't talk to anybody, or you let it go? Ooh, that's a good question. What's Imbar gonna do? I think, let's look at Imbar's stats. Not particularly wise, not particularly smart. She really is just kind of a big, beefy warrior. Now, she already executed some people a few sessions ago, back before we left the ruined oasis dungeon. But she's already accidentally killed one person, and it's not sure how many times that they're going to... The guards are going to, turn a blind eye to us killing people in Split Valley Oasis. So, yeah, let's just say, does she kill them? I think it's kind of 50-50. I don't know what she'd do in this situation. No, she decides not to kill them. Are we going to take them to the authorities? Do we take them with us? Imbar's like, yeah, let's take them to Reeve Relindhart. Maybe Reeve Relindhart can at least ask them some questions, and maybe if we lock him up, somebody will come looking for him. Then maybe give us some information. Del kind of looks around and is like, doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. I mean, sounds as good as anything else. He kind of goes, alright, I guess we could do that. Let's take his spell casting implements and get him gagged, and I guess we'll just throw him in the cart. Blind him up. Blindfold him. So they take some time to basically hogtie this guy and throw him in the cart in the street. And we'll just roll. Does anybody show up while we're doing that? No. Okay. So we hogtie him and throw him in the cart, and we'll be like, well, we'll just take you with us, I guess. So we them and take them with us. All right. So we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the smithy. We get everything unloaded there. Now here's a question. I'm just gonna ask them. It's like, hey, this isn't the person who was supposed to. No, we already checked that, right? This, like, oh no, this isn't the person who's supposed to come break the curse. Don't worry about it. We're gonna go ahead and put this back in storage. Why don't you go see Reeve Relindhart? I think we're gonna take the rest of the day off. Kind of looks. The Smith kind of looks at their apprentice, who's kind of. Like, that's been a lot, man. Their lives are definitely not like we just were in like 2 fights in less than an hour. This is not my usual kind of day-to-day activities. So I think we're just going to close up for the day, bar the door, everything's secure. If you need anything from us, of course, come let us know, but otherwise I think we're going to hunker down for the rest of the day. Yes, thank you. Please hold on to our things. We will, if we don't come to retrieve it, we'll send word. Absolutely, thank you. You like, very quickly closes the door, and you hear cha-chung, click, 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 cha-chung. So they lock down their door to the smithy. I think Leah kind of comes out of the side street like, all right, Reeve Relindhart then? Yeah, I guess. Who's got this person? I think it's probably not Odd. Is Imbar carrying their mage? Probably. No, I guess it is Odd. So Odd sort of has slung the mage sort of over their shoulder, which maybe raises the heart rate of people walking by, seeing a giant gnoll with an unconscious humanoid over their shoulder walking through the streets that's clearly had the crap kicked out of him. And we go off to see Reeve Relindhart, finally. And I am not going to roll to see if anything else gets in our path. I feel like we've done enough of that. Let's get to Reeve Relindhart. Is he prepared to receive us? Almost guaranteed, yes. Yeah, he is. So we kind of walk into sort of like the larger keep sort of fortified storeroom, whatever you want to call it, that kind of subsists for like the administrative center of Split Valley Oasis. Gonna walk in there and find get seen to Reeve Relindhart pretty quickly, just right up the stairs. Ah, Reeve Relindhart, great to see you again. How are things? We just brought here's as you requested, Drin's half-brother, and we can make a little report about what we found at the Goblin camp. If you're ready for that. And I think Reeve Relindhart kind of was writing something on his desk and then kind of like leans back. Well, normally I'd be ready, but I have to say that you guys have only been in town a very short amount of time, and you're already causing trouble. And then Leah's going to make an insight check with Leah. Oh, that's pretty good for Leah. So I'm going to say that she I mean, at first is like, oh. Then she's like, oh, I think he's teasing me. She's like, you're causing a lot of trouble. But that's alright. And I know you guys are, I feel like I can trust you. You have the best interest of Split Valley Oasis at your heart. And of course, Ikari continues to sing your praises, I sing your praises. The people here are lovely, and the Cult of Narimanah have found few friends of Split Valley Oasis. And especially not when they try to do brash in broad daylight theft. Try to, rob someone in the streets of my town. So, thank you. That's just sort of the excuse we needed to sort of make, kind of push them out of town, ride them out, if you will. We may just chase them out of town. But I fear there is something more pressing you wish to discuss. And his eyes sort of drift towards Ott carrying the unconscious mage. Ah, yes. He kind of around. You can put him down. Just put him down. It's fine. Just lay him down on the floor. He's not going anywhere. So, as we were trying to escort the smith and his apprentice with the corrupted armor, I assume that heard tell that you have sent it out to get it decursed now that we're back in town. Thank you. And we were attacked, primarily Imbar here, kind of points at Imbar. She kind of, he's like, nice to see you again. Imbar here was sort of attacked. We think this mage is in the employ of someone named the Peddler. Have you ever heard of them from Carjunton? Good question. Has he ever heard of the Peddler? Maybe. Has Reeve Relindhart heard of the Peddler? Okay, so here's the thing. I need to make an insight check first to be even able to read. That's a pretty good check. I should have done just a one scene. That's fine. DC 16, yeah. Nailed it. Alright, so does he know? No, he doesn't know. So we say that, but Leah feels very, very easily, she can read on his face, like pretty earnest, surprised, being like, I don't know who that is. What's the best way to put that? And she kind of looks over at Imbar. Imbar kind of like takes a cue and steps forward. Yeah, so the peddler is this guy in Arjuntan. He kind of, he buys things, he sells things in a very sort of, less than legal capacity. Primarily about magic items, kind of magic item vendor. Very weird guy, though. I don't think he's just your average sort of smuggler, black market dealer. And Reeve Relindhart's like, well, as far as I know, no tendrils of that sort of underbelly have made it here to Split Valley Oasis. But I'm only one man, so I don't know everything, but... do you want me to arrest him? Is that what you're asking for here? Yeah, we're asking you to sort of arrest them. We don't know, we kind of checked them over. He didn't really have any notes or anything. We looked for orders or something like that, and he's like, Relindhart kind of waves his hand. No, it's fine. Let's get him into a cell, and oh god, that's a pretty nasty stab wound he has. We'll probably need some medical attention on that as well. So why don't we we'll get that taken care of. I'll ask him some questions. I don't know what that'll lead to. So if you want to, I don't know when we're going to get around to questioning them. But if you want to leave some questions, and Leah kind of looks at Imbar. Does Imbar have any specific questions for him? I don't know. She's kind of, let's give her like a wisdom check, I guess. 15's pretty good. She doesn't have any bonus. And she's like, yeah, I can write down a few questions I think that might be helpful for you. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, if you just write them down, send them to my office, I'll make sure it gets taken care of. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Jurgen, would you help me with that? Jurgen's like, yes, I will help you with that. I don't know if Imbar can read and write. Jurgen certainly can, but I don't know if, as a spellcaster, but I don't know if Imbar can. But regardless, they will crack that out together. So we'll just make a quick note of that. Like, okay, sit with Reeve Relindhart. Let's see, so it's going to be Imbar by questions or Peddler's Mage. Yeah. So they do that. Alright, I think there's a guard kind of comes in, like, lifts the mage and, like, takes him off to a cell and take them to get taken care of. Speaking of which, we do need to make some checks on our supply dice, because I didn't do that. So we have a D6 on the healer's kit. Let's roll that, because we did use it to heal somebody. Oh no, we rolled a 1. It goes down to a D4, and we just resupplied this thing too. Well, crap. And then Imbar didn't shoot, but it certainly did. So how's her arrows looking? Her arrows look fine. Perfect. Nobody else did. And Del used his sling, but we don't care about sling bullets, because sling bullets you can just find rocks just about anywhere to use the sling bullets. So that's the way that I do slings, where I'm like, slings, you have to track ammunition for every other sort of ranged weapon except slings. That's the nice part about using slings. They're super cheap, and the ammunition you can just find on the ground in places. It just always kind of assumes that as you're walking around looking for stuff, if you spend some time, you can find it. That's just one of the things you keep your eyes out for when you're traveling around in the world. You're like, oh, that's a nice rounded stone. I'll put that in my sling ammunition. Just so you always have it. Alright, well, What else do we need to talk to Reeve Relindhart? He asked for... He's going to ask for a debrief on what happened on the mission. Is there anything that we want to hide from him? I don't think so. Everything was pretty straightforward. I don't think we're actually trying to... I don't think we're really trying to hide anything from him on this. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So we're going to talk about is like, oh, so it turns out that this is actually a confederation of goblins and orcs and gnolls that have kind of been brought together. Found a lot of, she pulls out some of the foreign currency. We have quite a bit of it now. Kind of hands it over to Reeve Relindhart. So we found this. Now I remember that we found those coins earlier before. It turns out they're actually from the nation to the northwest. As you know, the nation we haven't named. To the northwest. Among that, we found some. She pulls out some of the papers, and they spread some area out on Reeve Relindhart's desk, and they roll out the scrolls, and put things on the corners and keep it for rolling up. So as you can see, these orders, it looks like they are particularly interested in this man right here, whose name is. Where's he at? Sovlis Amakir. Does that name mean anything to you? Probably. I think that's likely. It's 11. I'm not going to do an interrupt scene here for that. But so the answer is technically yes. Because we've kind of had a bunch of stuff up to this point. I don't want to do another interrupt so quick. I want to get through a scene. Or at least most of a scene. Sovlis, yes. He's another Reeve, correct? Or maybe he's a bailiff? I can't. He's like, yes. He is a minor bureaucrat for the kingdom. And what you may not be aware of, and she kind of motions with a finger and like taps on the name that's in that name in the document, Sovlis Amakir. She taps on that last name. Amakir, I don't know if you're familiar with that name, but that is also my last name. Sovlis is my father. And as we were going through there, we found that they were trying to... A lot of this confederation seems to be... There's a general sowing of chaos and distress, creating issues. We think perhaps sort of softening the region for maybe some sort of invasion, a takeover, destabilization, whatever you want to call it, of the area. We think they're behind that. They're financing that. And we believe that they found some sort of chink in the armor, a space where they might insert themselves to do great harm through my father. And with myself being an adventurer in the area, having made, I guess, somewhat of a name for myself, has branded me a target for these people. And I believe they think that if they are able to secure me, they will be able to leverage my father to do whatever their ends may be. Again, we don't know if that's a takeover, a defection of the area that he's sort of in charge of, anything, inroads to invasion, whatever it may be. I don't know. I haven't spoken to my father in... She straightens up. She'll make a deception check. 12. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just make it flat easy for him to read her. No. It's still 15. So he kind of is still able to read, even though she's trying to kind of hold it back a little bit. I haven't spoken to my father in some years, so we are not particularly close anymore. Since he and my mother separated many years ago. A lifetime ago, really. So I'm not sure what they seem to accomplish from this. I'm not sure how It does not seem to, at least to me, that their intel on this situation is particularly prescient. Reeve Relindhart kind of leans back in his chair and scratches his head. Okay. Woof. That's a big thing. Well, you've certainly earned your reward. These have, you've done everything that we've asked of you. We asked you to investigate this. Obviously, you've brought our friend here and kind of motions over to, of course, because I keep forgetting that he's also in the scenes, Drin's half-brother. It's like, oh right, there's also this cardboard cutout of a half-orc, like, back over there, who can sort of take over those family lands. Of course, if it's fine with you, we can serve. Do you want some food, a room here? We will talk later and talk about sort of what your future may look like here. Yeah, that'd be great. Yes, he kind of, I guess he probably just like whistles like gets the guard's attention, comes back in. You take this man and find him a room, give him some food. I'll talk to him later. Very important guy, take care of him. So I kind of take him off. Alright, now that that's all the way. So you've done the things that we've asked you to do, which means that we owe you some remuneration, a reward for all your effort, for going above and beyond as we knew you would. So, let's look back. He like opens a drawer and like pulls out a pile of notes and like flips through it. Let's see, Leah, Amakir. There we go. All right. So, let's go to our last session recap. So, I see that you did things with the waylaid caravans. Did you find anything about the gazers? That's a good question. We didn't actually come across anything gazer related. I'm gonna give her an Arcana check. I'll give her advantage. That's pretty good. I think that's like a soft 20. Yep. Or maybe not. Actually, that's a very, very high. That's a, well, no, that is technically DC 20. So I need to look. Does she make that? 3 plus 2. Yeah, she just barely makes it. She's like, well, we didn't find anything specific about the gazers, but I can tell you from sort of my knowledge as far as a magi at this point that gazers are sort of aberrant beings. They're often used by, they can be created and used by wizards. Now, the Oasis, I don't know if you know too much about the history of it, but it used to be a very large, expansive, underground, primarily underground, arcane research facility. So it is my understanding they could have simply found these. It didn't look like any of those laboratories were being worked on or being experimented with currently, so I think they may have just found something old in there. Found some of those gazers, because as far as I know, they lived for quite a long time. Found them in some amulet of control or something of that fashion to use them. Or maybe they simply set them free. Who's to know? Oh. Okay. I don't trust you if you didn't come across anything. You didn't come across anything, but if that's an ancient arcane research facility, that might explain where those strange creatures came from. So we did. So we said, okay, yes, we have the corrupted plate. It seems you already know that. I do need it cleansed, though, and that is not something that comes easily, both in prize money, in price, and in availability. So let's ask a question. Now, we did just have a pretty powerful mage who's here, who had third level spells, at least. Is there does Reeve Relindhart know of anybody in town currently? Because again, it's a training post. There's a bunch of people that kind of come in and out. Who's a powerful enough mage or priest to take care of this? No, he knows for certain that there's not. I can tell you right now, we don't have anybody in town right now, to my knowledge, who can, either a priest or wizard who's powerful enough to break it. It could have, kind of looks in the direction of the holding cells where they just took off the unconscious mage. Perhaps that, even though Greater Restoration, or Remove Curse is a 3rd level spell, right? It is. Ooh, that actually marks a larger question. Which is, and I don't know if I can do this here. Let's say level 5 sidekicks DD. So I just need to know if they get 3rd level. Who's a spellcaster? Because I don't think they're going to get 3rd level spells yet. No. Yeah, they don't get 3rd level spells until they're 9th level. So they're a long ways away from 3rd level spells. At least for her being able to cast it. So... let's go... Actually, Leah might be able to... She's a wizard, right? Yeah, so she's about to get... Then she'll have access to Remove Curse. So she can... I think Leah just kind of tells him, it's like, hey, I can actually... If you are able to provide some sort of spell scroll or something for it, I may be able to break it myself at this point. I've come across these magics a number of times now, and I may be able to do it myself. This is a narratively saying, hey, we're about to be level 5, and I'll just be able... If you can give me the spell, I could just do it myself. So if you were able to sort of procure a scroll of that... Is the spell scroll that we have that spell scroll? I think that's extremely unlikely. It certainly is not. Okay. That would have been too... That would have been too surreptitious for us. That's alright. Too much serendipity. Let's say, instead... Do you know... Can you procure a scroll of it? Or do you have one? No. Can you readily procure one? As in, like, just go to the market and buy it? No. Okay, so you're going to have to order out for it. You're going to have to order out for it. So that's sort of as the conversation goes. It's like, oh, well, if you had a scroll, I could probably learn the spell and be able to do it myself. Alright, well. And I guess she returns the goblin map to him. Do we have anything else that we want to give Reeve Relindhart out of our sort of like treasure? We've got a bunch of treasure and stuff. Guffins of treasure. So we're going to give him the map to the ruined oasis. And I think Durin's half-brother would have basically given us, allowed us to sort of like write it out in common what was on it. I think she... I don't know if she gives it to him, but she definitely flashes this bounty hunter mage's contract. Hired by Fargrim. And we can use that as sort of like basic evidence for holding the mage that we have here, even though we know he was probably hired by the peddler and not Fargrim, but we don't know. And we don't know how those people are related, if at all. But I think that's it. I think that's all we're gonna need to do. Oh, we have Gimble's... Oh, we have Gimble's blank page. I don't think we need to do that, though. Gimble's on Identify Medicine. We figure that out. But yeah, that's sort of where we are. So that's all the extra stuff that we might need to give to him. Let's double check. He doesn't have anything. Yeah, nope, not really. Alright, perfect. So we do that, and we say, hey, you know, here's the things that we got and everything. So we need to figure out what we're gonna do. So we did this. I have to, let's say, just say procure the spell scroll of remove curse, which then Leah will just have, and she can cast it as a wizard. How long is this going to take? This is probably, I think this is something we do in weeks. How many weeks? A month seems maybe kind of right to me. For like, hey, send word to go get something, that person gets the word, makes a thing, ships it back, gets paid for it, gets turned over to us. That sounds like a process that could take up to a month, so I'm just going to do 2d4. Or do I want to do days? Let's do that maybe instead. No. Let's do weeks. Weeks will make it easier. So we're going to do 2d4 weeks. Hopefully we roll low to get that spell scroll. Oh, no, we rolled very high. Okay. Well, never mind then. So it's going to take 7 weeks to get here. That's the rough estimate. This spell scroll of... That's such a long time, because they, of course, didn't want to order it until we got back and actually completed our mission. But today is Summer Maiden 12. Let me look at my calendar really quick, so I can figure out what day that's going to be. So it's Summer Maiden 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no, it's a full month, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. All right, so they expect it to be ready by Summer Mother, the 21st of Summer Mother. I'll just put it in, that's a Summer Mother. It's a while. I'm just gonna bolt this. So, yeah, so it's actually, I'll just do it this way. Oop. Summer Mother 21. So that's a hot minute in game, which is fine. We have a number of sort of like downtime things we probably need to address now and try to figure out what we're going to do next. So that's not too bad. I don't know if we're going to be here the entire time. The truth is that we don't actually need this plate armor that much, which is the whole thing. Because we found Imbar plate armor that fit for her in the dungeon. Now, it's not magical. This will be magical armor. But it's, I mean, it's still plate armor, man. It's still 18 AC off the dome. 20 with her shield. Like, that's nothing to scoff at. So that's sort of the status that we're at right now. Okay, so we talked to Reeve Relindhart. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about Reeve Relindhart about at this point. So that was the thing that's accomplished. We did go sort of above and beyond. So here's the thing, is that I'm going to give us... We have advantage because we are already in the good graces of Reeve Relindhart so well. I'm just going to roll a straight sort of like charisma, persuasion kind of roll. It doesn't really matter because she doesn't have any bonuses. So she just gets a +2 to the roll. To be like, is it going to offer us a little something something on the side, a little extra? 17. 17's pretty good. Yeah. That's DC 11. He'll give us something. He'll give us an additional, let's say an additional treasure roll. We didn't like ace it, so I'm not going to be like, oh, well, we'll get advantage on all the treasure rolls. But we're going to do... So let's say bonus treasure rolls. Alright. Because we really went pretty much above and beyond. Like, we were just supposed to kind of tell him what was kind of going on with the map. But we gave him, like, a full breakdown of the Oasis City and everything that's going on. And additional things that might be troublesome for the area. So, I think we're just going to do some bonus treasure rolls. I think it's just going to be cash value for everything. That's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to do a cash roll for everybody. That seems fair to me. So we got 5 people. We'll do a cash roll for everybody. Those are not good rolls. So... I guess I probably should have done this the other way. That's okay. D10, D10, it's 9. D20, then D100. So we could get paid out big here. It's still pretty unlikely. Oh, that could happen. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof. Copper, copper, copper. Copper. So all of them are copper except for the very last one, which is platinum pieces. Alright, so that's all copper, and then this... Wow, platinum. The rest of this is copper. So 3d10 plus d20. Alright, .36. So all that amounts to... less than a gold coin. Sometimes it happens. But we did get a D100 on platinum. So let's roll, fingers crossed, we're going to roll high. No. But still, that's 240 gold. Like, that's nothing to scoff at. So, yeah. I mean, it's still good money. And this wouldn't necessarily all be currency. I assume that they give us a lot of trade goods and stuff like that, but this is stuff we're going to immediately turn around and sell at market price. So, whatever it was, they probably gave us trade goods that were worth more than this, and this is sort of what we pulled it down to. So, that still leaves us with some time. I don't think we have anything else to say about Reeve Relindhart. He told us that, hey, it's going to be a while before we're ready for you. So... we got here really early in the morning, so it was probably noonish, maybe? So we could spend the rest of our day sort of offloading treasure, because we have quite a bit of treasure. So let's look back at our session goals. Can anyone ID Imbar as the Acolyte's killer? Whether they did or did not, they simply did not care. What's the punishment? So, major and minor. They are probably, so the Acolytes of Narimanah, if they don't get pulled out by like ecclesiastical court in some means, like somebody else comes to sort of gather up, as tends to happen with the temples and church, they have their own sort of like separate law process. If they don't, those guys are going to get caned. So it's not a fun time for their sort of attempted theft. We did turn in our quest, and we did get our rewards. Sort of. We have to wait on one. So, session goals. Done. So we do want to go to get things kicked off back and do a report back at Kari's estate, and then try to figure out maybe maybe a new home base. Because I think we've it's been some weeks now that we've kind of put Leaden out. Now he is kind of honor bound to let us stay there as long as we want, because we traded in his little heirloom item for it. So, and we can tell him the gimbal's not going to be a problem anymore. We found that dude and he's dead now. We killed him and took his money. That's it. So I think we have a little bit of time left. We might stay in Split Valley Oasis today because maybe we're going to take the rest of the time to do around, and I think we're going to take some time. We're going to walk around and we're going to sell off a bunch of our treasure that we have. Now it's all at market value, so I do need to add these last little bits too here. So these guys are going to I'm going to actually move this out now, and let's go to our treasure table. Alright, so that only has... So the 1 gold of tobacco is going to go in there. Woo! Sort of how it feels. Ooh! So now it's 131 in materials. So obviously we're not going to sell gimbals and identify medicine stuff, but we're at a pretty big trading post, so we should be able to sell most of this normal stuff without any problems. And some of these things we kept secret to be like, or separate to be like, we're gonna try to sell it on its own merits, but most of the stuff will kind of all go together. Alright, so I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give us advantage on these rolls, because I think we're gonna take the time. We're gonna take the rest of the day to try to sell off as much of that stuff, so we'll have advantage on the rolls. If we roll well, then we'll see how much extra money we get out of it, because on face value we should get about 10%. And actually I'm going to take this guy. We're going to move him over to Leah's, so I'm going to need my calculator out. So 240.36 plus 1.90 for your gold. And so I'm just going to pull the things out of there so I don't accidentally add them twice. Over 140G. Whee! Just so we know what that is. I'll delete this out. And then I'm just going to add this to Leah's stockpile of money, which is quite a lot. I've done it once. Sorry, so that should be 816.62. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to erase all this because this is getting too confusing for me, and just put it in the normal format. So, 1,058.88. We got plenty of cash. That's really small. I don't even know if you guys can see that. But 1,058 gold coins and 88 in silver and copper. So we're very flush, and we do want to get some more money, and then we're going to try to turn as much of this money into useful things for us as we can. So let's do that. Alright, so we're spending the rest of the day. We got this, we got this, we got this. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to sell off some treasure. Let's just go for the big one. And that'll tell us how much... Well, did we... I don't think we did the hex crawl tracker, did we? So technically it would have taken us to get there and then there. So I'm going to actually do this. So that way we just kind of keep track of how long the days go. Ooh, +5. Alright. So up to 8. And then I'm going to roll another one for us offloading it. And I think I'm going to give us advantage, or disadvantage, so the higher number, because we're going to take our time to really do this right. But we got plenty. So we spent a lot of time just trying to sell off this one item. So here's our treasure. We're going to sell off everything that's here, everything that's in our material goods. All this stuff, minus Gimbals on identifying medicine. We're going to try to sell all that off. So in D&D 5e, and I assume for 2024 revision, you still get paid only 10% of the normal value of something. So, you can get that up to maybe half of it, half the worth. Or I guess a percentage of whatever it's going to be. And if we make a successful sort of bartering check. So we're going to let her do it. She has advantage. She has +2 to her charisma. That's an 18. That's pretty good. Oh. Ooh. 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 That is the absolute minimum DC that we can roll. That is a DC of 1. So I'm going to give us advantage on this roll. So up to 100% of what we get paid for it. Alright, not 6%. For sure. Alright, I gotta honor it more than that, not 12%. It's gotta be higher than at least what we were looking for. Which, like, ooh, that's higher than I thought it would be. Even I... Yeah, why not? Sure. It was a great roll and a terrible DC. So we find people that are hungry for these items for some reason. This might be a lot. I think there's been so many sort of caravan attacks and they've taken so much of that wealth away that people are just hungry for these items that normally would be here, but now there's sort of like a scarcity around it. So we're actually to get up to 90% of market value. Whew. Oh, mama. Times 0.9. And we'll go ahead and round up. Nah, we'll round down. It's 118 and 40 gold. 0.40 gold. Alright, so I'm going to take that. And we'll just give that to Leah. Plus 1058, 988. Alright, I'm going to put it down here so maybe you guys can see it a little bit better. I think you guys can see. You guys can't see what I'm doing. Alright, I'm putting it down here on the right on the sheet. Just because we've got such a big number right now, you can't really see it over there. Alright, so that's what we're up to. We got a bunch of gold. So that was our first attempt. And we sold off most of our stuff. We got amazing prices for it. So, we're going to put this back down to 0 GG in materials. Thing is that we just sold all this stuff, and Gimble's unidentified medicine will no longer be in materials. So I'm just gonna put this on a totally different line. There we go. All right, so we're gonna sell off the Cargentum banknotes. Those are already appreciated. There's no sort of tit for tat there. So I'm going to move this back down to 0.00. We'll give ourselves 66 gold. But now we have turned from pieces of paper into actual currency that we can use. So now it's 1243. Alright, so that's done. That's also going to take us a little bit of time, as we're wheeling and dealing in the streets of Split Valley Oasis. That took us 2. So we rolled really well on our Constitution threshold, so we're not going to shouldn't have any issues here. Alright, let's go back to our MacGuffins of Treasure. And I don't think... all these need to be separate items. You know. So obviously the Gimble's blank page we're going to take back to Omer, because Omer's got the cryptographic specialty. Sort of break it. Maybe you can figure out something about the unidentified medicine. But we are going to sell... I guess we'll sell the art item. Not really too concerned with... we're going to get off of it. I'm not going to give her advantage on that. It's not very good. Do we hit a DC 8? Wow, that's a DC 7. Our DC's... okay, so we're actually going to get quite a bit of... 41% of the payment price. So it's... ooh, wowie geez, we got 9 copper for it. so great. So no art items. Let's give her that 9 copper. Really was not worth talking about. Spending time to do. Alright, we have that ornate flask of fine brandy, so the whole thing together is worth 65. Let's go, natural 20. Alright, so obviously we're going to get advantage on this. 31% or 68%. So we'll go with 68%. So we could make it really good. So 44 gold and 2 silver. That makes it 87. So that ornate flask of fine brandy is gone. And this should be... And this is going to be... So that's held. That's pretty much everything we've got right now. As we're selling. Okay, so we have sold everything, I think. And do we have anything else left? I hope not. I think that's everything. We've got this 3rd level spell scroll. We don't know what that is yet. We're not selling that though. We're definitely going to probably keep that. Alright, so we have done that. Oh, that took some time. Another 3. So we're still pretty good. We're at 17, so it's getting a little bit later in the day, in the afternoon. We're like, well, we could probably make it across the lake, jump in a boat and row across the lake, but maybe we ought to just stay here instead. I circle up everybody and be like, is everybody alright with that? I think everybody's like, yeah, that's fine. And I need to do a payout. I need to pay my people. My adventurers. Usually, I mean, if it was a normal adventuring party, we'd split things 5 ways, right? But I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to do like a 50% cut. So Leah keeps 50% and everybody else keeps 50%. So I'm going to pay my people. It's, mark it to treasure. We have some great rolls. Great charisma. Lee's getting into the process of really being able to sort of like spin a story and like tell it and shoot it out and like get people sort of enthralled by the story and really inflate the prices of their treasure. And then we are going to so we're gonna give them, there's 5 of them, I'm gonna pay them 50%. So, you know, these people are still making good money by by any means. So we're gonna take half the gold that we have here, 7.58. We're just going to take that and we're going to divide it by 2. Alright, so we're down to... $643.79. So everybody, by the way, everybody who's with us adventuring just got paid over 100 gold. They got paid 128 gold pieces and about 7 copper, or 7 silver and 6 coppers, thereabouts. So they made good money being on this adventure. And as long as the money keeps coming in, I don't think you're going to see Ott and Imbar basically upset about, or not want to stick around. As long as we're making money, they're going to want to stick around. Also, they're sort of like trauma bonded now. They're combat buddies. Enemies to friends, rivals to friends, that sort of thing. So, I'm going to say that Leah had a short rest at some point. Or probably everybody did. So, while we're doing our wheeling and dealing, I don't think there's any reason that we wouldn't have had that. So, let's spend some hit dice. Just in case we run into anybody on the way back. Might as well spend at least 2, so that's 8. So 12 points back, so she's up to 13. I don't really want to spend any more, unfortunately. Okay. There we go. Delg. Delg will spend a couple, I guess. Those are d8s plus 1. So he gets 10 points back. Imbar is probably fine. But Imbar is going to get that short rest, so she is going to get her second win back. Ott is gonna... she'll spend at least... Like, it's going to take her at least 1. She's going to take at least 1. If she rolls high, she won't take another. She rolled low, so she will take another. Alright, so she'll get 7 points back. And she'll lose that because it's going to be a short rest. She's going to lose 2 hit dice. I mean, she could take a third. Sure, she'll take a third. See if she can get all the way back up to full. Alright, so another 6. Which is exactly what she needs. Get her back to max. And Jurgen looks fine. Jurgen didn't get hit. Alright, so everybody looks good. Everybody's filled up. We did our shopping. We paid off a bunch of stuff. We've got a little bit of time left in the day. Do we want to go shopping for something? What's something that we needed that we haven't had a chance to get yet? Leah just needs some more combat spells, for sure. So she's gonna take a look around. What was? Sorry, I'm gonna copy this gold amount so we can put it in our notes. And then Leah's gonna go do a little bit of shopping. It's a lot of sort of like little cleanup tasks right now before we go back to Akari's. So she's gonna go around and she's gonna do a little shopping, looking for some spell scrolls, and that's gonna take up most of the rest of the day. It'll take her exactly to 21. So as she's finishing that, that's when like the sun's going down. They're gonna need to go get rooms if they haven't secured those already. We've been doing some stuff. Let's make sure that nobody ran into us. We did like 3 things. Okay. Actually, 4 things. This is our 4th thing, right? Alright. So we haven't run into any issues yet. So let's look for some spell scrolls. Let's look for some wizard spells. Let's go back to home. Let's go to spells. Let's do a little filter here. They gotta be for wizrobes. And I think I just want 1st and 2nd levels at this point. And so much of this stuff is just 2024 now. Do I just make it 2024? No, that's fine. Let's see. We got a bunch of 1st level spells. I was gonna roll a die, but I don't know what that's gonna be off the top of my head. So let's just look for let's look for things that maybe we want to look at picking up. Anything 1st level that you could pick up. Ooh, Bless would be really good. This is supposed to be wizard stuff. Oh, it must be in subclass. Cleric, sorcerer, cleric, lord, bard. Okay. Apparently didn't have. Yes, I want a wizard. Wizard! There you go. That's a little bit more manageable. Alright. Color spray, comprehend languages. Do we have comprehend languages? Look at Leah. Okay, we do have comprehend languages. Featherfall. We still have a token right now, so I'm not that concerned about it. Cross fingers. I'm trying to think of something that'd be good. Shield wouldn't be nice. So I don't think we have shield. Let's look at her list. I don't think she has shield. Yeah, so we'll look for a scroll of shield. It'll just be a basic luck check. Can we find, or we'll make an investigation check. What's the DC for these investigation checks? Very low. Very low. So DC 8. Can we find it? Yes, we can. Alright, so we can find a scroll of shield. And I think we'll definitely buy that. So usually that's 50 gold. Straight up. Shall we butter them up for price? Why not? It's like a DC 12. Probably not gonna work. Nope. Alright. 50 gold it is. Thank you, sir. So we're gonna spend 50 gold. Let's 593. Alright, and I'll put it in here. So we are going to let's say market purchases. So our market purchases are going to be a shield spell scroll. Any other first levels? We got silvery barbs, Tasha's cost. Rue, Thunderwave, Unseen Serpent, Witch Bolt. Yeah, none of those are great for us. Alter Self would be a really nice one. And Arcane Lock. Alter Self, do they have it? Yes. Arcane Lock, do they have it? Yes. What was the other one I was looking at? Blur. That's the other one I was looking at. They've got those. They've got all three of those. Now. Those are gonna be second level spell scrolls, which are uncommon. They're gonna be a little more pricey. Oof. You know, there's somewhere between 250 to 350. So let's see. Let's see what the price is. So it's 250 plus. Okay, so 285. Try to wheel and deal. Try smoosh a little bit. Oh, we rolled really well. Dirty 20. Oh, yep, that's still an 18. We still get it. So what kind of discount can we get? 59. Alright, so 59% of... So 168.15. Which of these do we want to buy? We can't certainly buy them all. Arcane Lock is really specific. And the thing is that we're hungry for more combat spells. We need them. We gotta have more combat spells. So I think we're gonna spend enough to get Blur. And what was the other one we like? Alter Self. Eh. So that's a pretty expensive purchase, but that's fine. I'm gonna say not Arcane Lock. Ultra Self. We're not gonna buy Arcane Lock. And Blur. And it's gonna cost us a pretty penny. So like I said, a lot of money moves through here, so minus 93.79. Alright, so we've got not have a ton of money left. Maybe enough to get us a little uncommon magic item, maybe? Maybe there's a useful magic item we can do? Because she doesn't really need to resupply on anything. And I'm going to assume with the money that everybody else spent, that I just cashed out, everybody's going to refill all their normal stuff. So, everybody's going back to D6s on arrows, oil. Shoot, you add a D6, you're doesn't have anything. And could outfit themselves with better things if they have better things to outfit themselves with. I think she gets shields. I don't have it on here, but I'm pretty sure as a sidekick character, if she has weapons or staff block, she gets shields as well. So yeah, and I mean, I'll do this off screen because I'm going to level everybody up when they go to sleep. But I'll probably give them a little money to throw away on their gear, because some of them are going to need some updates. Delg's probably going to be fine. But some of them will maybe see if they can get something better out of it, because they've all got enough money to get certainly a common item, a common magic item if they want one. Which could be some magic armor, it could be who knows what. That's it. Because we just paid out, ooh, like I said, they've each got a little over 100 gold. So let's see, let's look at some magic items. If nothing else, we can always buy more potions, which we desperately need. Let's go with let's do with rarity of common, because I don't think we're gonna have enough. We're not gonna have enough to really buy. I mean, we're like right there, right? We can maybe buy something if it was super cheap, but I think most of it is common stuff that we're kind of looking at. Wand sheath. Does that do anything? Track or extend the wand for the sheath as a bonus action. You can use it as if you were holding it, but your hand remains. Oh. Interesting. Veteran's cane, unbreakable arrow, thermal cube, tinkered with sobriety. What does the Sylvan Talon do? While this weapon is on your person, requires attunement. I don't have any attunement slots left is the problem. At rank 2, what is this from? Oh, Acquisitions Incorporated. She doesn't seem like the sort of person who get a tattoo, so I'm not gonna go with a spell rod game too. Spell charge, she's already got a book. She could pick up another spell scroll. Oh, that's right, I forgot about the shift weave stuff. The shift weave's really cool. You can basically get 5 different outfits for one, for magical outfits. That's not bad. Rope of Mending. Pressure Capsule. Potion of Watchful Rest. Pot of Awakening. Pull of Collapsing, which is a nice one. I do like that one. Not a lot of great things, obviously, in the bottom end on the common side of stuff. Lantern of Tracking. Musical instruments. Imbued wood. I've got one of those already. Horn of Silent Alarm. Oh, the Hat of Wizardry. Oh, it requires attunement. Otherwise, I'd take that. As a wizard, you get to a point where you basically can't fail that DC 10 Intelligence Arcana check. Which basically gives you access to all wizard cantrips, which is super useful if you have a decent intelligence score. But it requires attunement by a wizard. But once you have that, it's great. She doesn't seem like she would have a out of vermin. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is just not going to be common glamour weave. Illusory pattern. Interesting. The chest of preserving. Food and other perishable items do not age or decay while inside the chest of preserving. Cartographer's map case. Oh, another acquisitions incorporated thing. Yeah, I guess we'll just go with... When in doubt, let's just buy ourselves some healing potions. We should buy like 3 of them. Sure, I'll make a charisma check for it. Let's try to get a better deal. Oh. No, we're not going to get a better deal. I mean, I'll roll the DC, but... Well, I rolled a 5 as my check, and the DC is 3. For some reason. Wow. Really low DC rolls. Something actually working for us. The low rolls are actually working for us this time, this session. That's a nice change of pace. That's usually not what happens. So, perfect. Let's take it. So, how much of a discount do we get off of these things? Alright, so we're only gonna have to pay 70% of the price. So, 105. That ain't too bad. I'll take that for 3 normal potions of healing. Yeah. Alright, so she goes down to 152. And we're going to give her... I'm just going to put them up here. I've started putting them up here for some reason. Heal pot. Boop, boop, boop. So we now have 3 potions of healing that we got for a great price. People are very happy with this, which I like. Alright, so we did that, we get that. We're gonna find rooms at the inn, and the inn is called what again? That's Gertrude's. Nansumber Caravanserai livery. So we are going to slide in there. Oh yeah, I forgot we have a building. That's fine. I'll let you go. We need those 2nd level scrolls. That would be the only thing we wouldn't be able to buy out of this. That's whatever. We'll take it. We had a lot of money. Alright, so we go head off to Nansumber, and we're going to stay. So everybody's going to pay for their own room because they just got their disbursement. So Leah just needs to care about Leah and her mule. I think she's going to spend a little money, have a little finery. You know, it's been a hard few weeks, and so she's going to spend a little extra money. I don't think she's going to spend high rate money. She's not going to live like a noble, but she's just going to live well. So, alright, it's going to be D10. 5. So it's going to cost her 5 gold. for the night. But she's gonna spend it. She's gonna treat herself. She's gonna have a nice night. And she also has to pay for the stabling, which is actually, we're gonna have to break that. And this is actually just by one. So there we go. So she has we have about almost a tenth of what we absolutely destroyed our money surplus. But hey, that's fine. We got stuff that we needed. So she pays for a nice medium rate, so that's like a private room. Probably gets a bath with it if she wants it. And she's going to take that because we need it. Rooms at... If I can spell. Caravanserai. Okay. And so, I think this is pretty much where we're gonna leave it, I think, right now, because we didn't take a break. We just kind of pushed right on through. But I do want to check, because I'm gonna have to level up. So I just want to make sure, are we going to run into any problems with that? I'm going to say 2 chances something happens in the night. 10, 11, nothing happens. Night passes uneventfully. Everybody beds down in their rooms. Some people sleeping together, other people staying for themselves. Leah takes the time to, like, she'll have Igni kind of watch the room, because he's a magical fake creature and doesn't need to sleep, so he'll sit up on alert, sort of like hanging out by himself, and she's gonna she's got like her hair undone. She finally took a nice long bath and, you know, sort of combed out her hair, brushed out her hair, which was in dire need of that, and sort of just is feeling a little pampered, and just finally, like, that weight that's sitting on top of her, that responsibility that's been sitting on top of her for weeks at this point, just kind of, at least for a moment, disperses, and she can take a nice deep breath and gets fully relaxed, and she drifts off to sleep. Well, like, drifts off to trance, I guess. Yeah, I forget she's an elf. So she trances, along with Igni. I guess Igni's out there too. So both of them are awake. Igni's probably just kind of like the little mephit sitting in her lap, and she's just holding on to it, trancing silently, and enjoys the silence of being by herself, indoors, comfortable environment, cushy. She's probably not even in the bed. There's probably like a stuff, like armchair or something that she's sitting on with like an ottoman, and she's just relaxing, having some nice tea. She has her magical teapot that always has hot and ready tea. She makes tea for herself. She sits down. She just kind of relaxes. She might even like take like a cloth or something, put it over her face, and just let Igni watch for a little bit while she just relaxes. And the night passes somewhat uneventfully. She will scribe. That's the only thing I need to look up. Ooh, actually, I'm not sure it's going to be on here. I don't think it's on her sheet, is it? I don't think so. Let me check. Get out of here. Whoop. She's a scribe wizard. Spell post save. Oh, I always forget that. When you cast a wizard spell with a spell slot, you can temporarily replace its damage type with a type that appears in another spell in your spell book. As long as it's of an equal level as the spell slot you expend. Quick rituals. Here we go. The time you spend to copy a spell into your spellbook equals 2 minutes per spell level. She is going to be sitting in that room, and she trances. She's going to have another 4 hours till other people wake up. She'll transcribe her new scrolls into it. Easy. It literally takes her minutes to do. It's going to take her like 10 minutes before. Be like, okay, well, what am I going to do for the next 3 hours and 50 minutes? Alright, so, man, I gotta write down all her little extra stuff, because scribe wizards are not very combat focused. So a lot of that stuff's not some stuff that I just keep on the character sheet, which is mainly a, you know, combat focused kind of thing. But she gets all this extra crap for being a scribe wizard. But she's gonna, yeah, she will transcribe all that stuff. She can swap out spells that she wants, so she'll probably swap out Frostbite for Guidance. And that sort of stuff. But I think that's a great place to end it. She is going to wake up in the morning fresh. Everybody's refreshed. And she will be level 5 along with all our friends. And she will have her new spells into her spell book. And I guess from there we're going to go off to... because really we're just down to waiting. So that'll be one day. And then we'll move over to Akari Liaden's estate. We'll meet back up with everybody. We'll give Omer the things that he needs to decrypt. Oh, one thing we do need to still do is we still probably need to figure out what's going on with Gimble's medicine. Maybe somebody can identify that for us, because Del was not able to. But we have a bunch of merchants here, so we can probably talk to somebody who might be able to tell us more. So that'll be sort of our plan for next time. But that's pretty much everything for me, guys. It's been a lot of fun as always. It was kind of a lower. We didn't have. I mean, I guess we had technically had one combat, but it was barely a combat, despite it almost killing us with Fireball. But you know, that happens when you fight a one high-level caster. They're gonna cast Fireball. Luckily, we were able to take care of them before second they got free enough to be able to do another Fireball and get everybody clumped up. So we were able to survive, but. Might not be so lucky next time. Hopefully he will stay in jail and not get out or removed or whatever's going to happen to that mage. Maybe Reeve Relindhart will come back with some answers. Probably unlikely, but you know, could happen. But yeah, that's everything for me. This has been a lot of fun. It's always fun. And we'll figure out, we'll do a little bit more downtime next time, and then we'll try to figure out what that downtime is going to look like. Are we going to spend any downtime, or if we're going to move on to the next adventure real quick? I'm going to hope that we're going to have a little bit of downtime. It's about to start getting real hot in the area too, which is going to make travel very difficult. But that's everything. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Alright? Bye-bye.